What's going on, everybody? We got some stuff. Not super exciting, but stuff nonetheless. Of course, like a politician, my number one priority is honesty, right? So I'm gonna be honest, this is about the third or fourth time I've tried to make this video. I tried to pack too many topics into one. It got a little bit too long, so here we go again. Try number 4, try number 5. Before we get going, I do want to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Appreciate the support. We got a big goal of 1,000 subscribers by June. We're almost at 400, so we're moving right along. So help me out, would you? Hit the bell notification as well while you're at it. You want to stay up to date. We got a lot of things going on. I try to post 2 videos a week, and the next couple of months are going to be quite busy with a bunch of different things, and we'll talk about that coming up. So let's get to it. As you know, if you've been following along, we got wheels in a week or so ago, and we need to start to get the ball rolling and get these things mounted onto the car. So I am happy to inform you that we finally got some tires on the way. As you know, I like to experiment a bit with different products, and I believe I mentioned in a prior video that I may have had a hookup for some tires. So we have some tires coming. They'll be here in a few days, but they are not a big name brand tire. They're not I would say a very well-known tire. I have never run these particular tires before, so as I've said before, I like to test out different products and different parts and things like that, and then give feedback to you all. And hopefully this works out for the best. Hopefully we get a relatively decent tire that is listed at a pretty affordable price. So I'm looking forward to giving some reviews on those. I'm not going to say a whole lot more about tires, but let's get into the rest of this video. So obviously we need some other parts and pieces to the puzzle before we get these wheels and tires mounted on the car. So that's what we had on order, and that's what we got in today. So the first parts are these hub-centric or hub-centering rings. The hub size of these Infiniti cars, and I would assume many of the Nissan cars, is relatively small from what I can see, at about 66.1 millimeters. Now, if you get aftermarket wheels, you have to make sure to pay attention to what the hub bore opening, the hub bore hole is on those wheels. If they're too big and you don't get your wheel centered on your hub, you get a little wiggle and wobble. So these rings will go on the hub of your car and help center those wheels so you get everything lined up perfectly. I went with plastic for a couple of reasons. These I think were like $5, $4 or $5 only. That's one reason. They're much cheaper than some of the metal versions. Another is that I know everyone wants to use quality parts and things like that, but these hub centering rings really don't do anything beyond the point of, getting your lug nuts tightened down. So these help center the wheel, but once you get the lug nuts tightened, these pretty much are useless. So in my opinion, there's no reason really to spend $20, $30, $40 or whatever the amount of money those metal ones go for. It's just really not necessary. The other thing is that the metal ones have been known to get kind of seized onto the hub, which could create issues down the line if you ever want to change wheels or anything like that. Those, taking the effort and the time to get those things off your hub, it's just not worth it to me. If the plastic one gets stuck, you just chisel them off and break them free. It's no big deal. And then you're only out a couple of dollars, so what's it really matter? Zero. The next thing we got is locking lug nuts, or lock nuts, lock lugs, whatever you want to call them. Shouldn't, or at least hopefully won't have any issue with any jerks trying to jack my wheels, but you just never know. Better safe than sorry. You might as well get yourself a set of locking lugs. Now I know it's not 100% guaranteed that these are going to stop any criminals from stealing your wheels and leaving your car on blocks, but it could act as a deterrent, and hopefully it slows them down enough to at least you can catch them. Next and finally, if you get a new set of wheels, chances are pretty good that they're not going to come with valve stems, and sometimes you want a little nicer valve stem, and then the tire shop is going to put on the wheel for you. So that's what I ordered here. And look at this, a little BMW. I wanted something like this. Little polished valve stems. The wheels are black, the lug nuts are black, the car is black obviously. I thought the center cap of the wheels is black, so I thought let's get something with a little bit of a shine to it, just to kind of give the wheel a little different element. So I went with some polished valve stems. We'll do a installation video later on. A lot of people don't have experience with installing valve stems in their wheels, so let's try it out. On that note, I'm going to mention the fact that I am not going to go with TPMS sensors in these wheels. I thought about getting a set. Obviously they're a couple $100, probably $150 for the set of them, and they're really just not necessary. I mean, many of us have been driving for a long time, right? And most of our cars 10 years ago didn't have TPMS sensors anyway. So I don't really need my dash to tell me if my tires pressure is low or not. It's just not something I need. Admittedly, the light on in the dash is going to annoy me, and maybe we'll address it later on. But for now, I just want to get these wheels and tires mounted and balanced and put on the car. I'm not worried about whether or not the car is telling me the pressure of the particular tire. I check them regularly anyway, especially if we're going to be doing any spirited driving or we're going to take the car to the mountains. I'll check the pressure manually anyway and fill or remove whatever is necessary for that particular situation. So not worried about TPMS, not doing it. Now, what else do we have going on? We got tires coming, a couple of days. Hopefully we can get them put on the vehicle very quickly, and then we need to move forward with some other stuff. So what's on the agenda? As some of you know, I have the Highlands Motoring Club Mountain One Lap in Highlands, North Carolina coming up in June. There are a couple spots open. Check out their Facebook page. If you are in the area or relatively close vicinity, check out the Highlands Motoring Group or Motoring Club. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but check out their Facebook page. There's a few spots open. It's like 40 or 50 cars, 130 or 150 mile route through the mountains of Western North Carolina. It's a 3-day event. There's a parade, there's car shows, and there's a classic car show. There's a lot of stuff going on in Highlands in June 7th, 8th, and 9th. So check it out, register, come on down. A lot of cool cars, classic Porsches, Ferraris, Corvettes, Mustangs, BMWs. There's going to be at least one Infiniti Q50, but check it out, come on down, maybe I'll see you there. We also got racetracks and things like that opening up all over in the area. Spring is here, so we got to get the car set up, and that is the goal. So next area of business is suspension. Obviously, we will do an installation video on that. I want to, we eliminated this bracket. I want to get some additional brackets fabbed up and utilize that bracket again so we can make sure our exhaust system is very secure under the car. I don't want any weird rattles to emerge down the road. What else? I want to get sway bars front and back. I've been eyeballing some of those, so we'll get those in and do an installation video on that as well. And other body stiffening, chassis stiffening type components like subframe connectors, things like that. There's a few things available for this car, so we may pursue some of those as well. We'll really get this thing handling well. If there's anything else that you all want to see or any questions you might have, let me know in the comment section, and we'll see what we can do about taking a look. I think we're set with the exhaust right now, as mufflers typically do, and catalytic converters. If you saw my last video, when we got these vibrant mufflers installed, they were pretty quiet and very tame, something that I'm not totally used to. However, like I was mentioning, typically once that packing material, that fiberglass and whatever else is packed into these mufflers starts to get burnt out a little bit and worn in, the mufflers will open up a bit and you'll get a little bit of a different tone. That's starting to happen now, thank goodness. It has a nice deep idle and sounds really good going down the road. I've noticed a slight rattle. I hope it's not coming from the muffler itself. I think something might be touching underneath the car, so that could be a video coming up as well of how we can fix exhaust rattles. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff happening. We got some more parts coming. We got some installation videos. We have some more discussion videos. I want to talk about pursuing exhaust systems that are fabricated by local muffler shops and how they compare to some aftermarket exhaust systems that are in the hundreds or thousands of dollars. So we got a bunch of different topics to address as we move forward over the next couple of months, so stick around. That's really all I have for you today. Hopefully the video didn't get too long. Hopefully it wasn't too talky, but at least now you are up to date in terms of what we have coming in the immediate future and what the plans are going forward. So I appreciate your support, appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to make it to 1,000 by June. I know we can do it. Thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you next time.